Good evening. This regular meeting of August 11th, 2025 of the Dubuque Community School District Board of Education is called to order. Our mission is to develop world-class learners and citizens of character in a safe and inclusive learning community. Roll call, please.
Bradley. Hamel.
Here.
Jacobitz Kazire.
Here.
Jones.
Here.
Parks.
Here.
Sansi.
Here.
Whitman.
Here.
All right, we're excited that some familiar faces to us anyway are here to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So come on in, kids. We might be more excited than them.
I think so.
I am Henry Park Schmidt from Prescott Elementary, and I'm going into 5th grade.
I'm Jane Park Schmidt. I go to Washington, and I'm going to the 7th grade.
My name is Aubrey Jones. I go to Washington, and I'm going into 6th grade.
My name is Henry Jones.
What grade?
I'm going into 3rd grade, and I go to school at
My name is Leo Whitman. I am going into 1st grade, and I go to Kennedy.
My name's Aiden Sansi, and I'm going to be a sophomore at senior high school.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
job,
you.
guys. You guys did a great job. I move the Board of Education approve the agenda as submitted.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the agenda as submitted. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve the minutes of the regular meeting of July 21st and the special meeting of July 23rd, 2025 as submitted.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the minutes of the regular meeting of July 21st and the special meeting of July 23rd, 2025 as submitted. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion also carries. All right, that brings us to board salutes, and I don't know who has those.
Sure, I have one. A board salute goes out to all involved in the district's mobile registration and employment fair outreach efforts. Over the past few weeks, teams of district representatives have been hitting the streets with our outreach bus to get families registered, to share information about jobs that we have open in the district, and to just connect in general with the community. From stops at various schools during this weekend's Crescent Community Health Center's Steppin' It Up 5K, we loved reaching out to the community where they're at to help them provide support. We have one more stop tomorrow from 1 to 3 that's going to be at Kennedy Elementary School. So thanks to all the district team members who are making this effort possible, and to the DRA, which helped provide the funding to make our outreach vision a reality.
Thank you.
All right, I have one too. So a board salute goes out to all involved in the annual Back to School Bash. The Back to School Bash is an annual event that happens on the first Saturday in August at Ottoman Elementary, where we have a variety of nonprofit organizations that come together to impact families to make sure that they have all of the resources that they need for the upcoming school year. Big shout out to the district, who's a key sponsor for this event as well. They made sure that families were registered for school, helping families to get job opportunities. So it's an amazing event. Over 600 families were out there just getting connected to resources and also to each other, which is also very critical in our community. Just a great reminder what happens when a community comes together to help each and every single resident in our community. So again, big shout out to the district and all those who are involved with the annual Back to School Bash.
Thank you. Are there any other board salutes? Okay. We'll have more once school gets started, so it's coming up. That brings us to the visitor and open forum.
I move the Board of Education suspend the rules of order and go into open forum.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education suspend the rules of order and go into open forum. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. So we're now in open forum. If anyone wishes to address the board, they may do so at this time. We ask that you come to the podium, state your full name, your connection to the district, and to limit your remarks to 3 minutes. Please know that state code prevents us from engaging and responding, but we are listening. Hello?
Good evening. Clark Slows, 2925 Burlington Street. And basically here as a taxpayer, I don't have any kids or grandkids in the school system, but I'm kind of concerned about the proposed, school bond that's being proposed. Last week, I was fortunate to meet with the superintendent and chief financial officer because I sent, a letter to be shared with all the board members, and I wasn't expecting any contact from the superintendent. I was kind of surprised and grateful for the opportunity to hear their point of view and for them to hear my point of view. What it boils down to is I can't see myself or any senior voting yes for the bond issue. The reason why is for 2027, I looked at the new assessed values. And if we keep the current tax system that we have, because the legislature hasn't passed anything and we don't know what they're going to do, my school taxes, the amount of dollars I would pay to the schools would go up 35%. The neighbor across the street from me kind of has, I'd say, one of the premier houses in our neighborhood. His would go up 24%. If you take Dubuque's, the city of Dubuque, what they say the median value of a home is, that would go up 19%. And I note, on your website, you have what the committee looked at and that the majority would favor a slight increase in their taxes for, adequate facilities. Well, it doesn't define what is a slight increase. The dollar is a 7.67% increase. Is that reasonable or not? Apparently, the school board feels it is. I do not, because that's about 3 times the rate of inflation that seniors are going to get on their Social Security check. I can see the pros of going to, a new school system, going to 2 middle schools. I can see the pros of that. But when you list the cons, they may not be as many as the pros, but the size of those cons, I think, outweighs that benefit. The one thing we don't know, if the bond issue fails, what would be the tax levy rate? Would it be $1.50 instead of, $1 if we went with the bond? We don't know that. Between not knowing what the future tax system is going to be and what's the alternative if the bond fails, I can't see a senior voting yes. The only reason I could see why is that you have grandkids in the system and you're going to take one for the team. If I did, if I had grandchildren in the system, I would take one for the team. If this bond issue would have been back in 2023, I probably would have voted yes. But under today's circumstances, there's too many unknowns for me to vote yes. And probably the end of September, I'm going to write a letter to the editor explaining why I believe you should vote no. Unless you got any questions, that's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seeing no more audience to come to the podium, I move the Board of Education reinstate the rules of order and return to regular session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education reinstate the rules of order and return to regular session. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve those items listed in the consent agenda.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve those items listed in the consent agenda. Is there any item a board member wishes to have pulled? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, that brings us to our Facilities and Support Services Committee report from Mr. Hamel.
Thank you very much. So last Monday? Yes,
Yeah.
last month, sorry. Last Monday, we had our facilities and support meeting. We got reports on a number of subjects. The first item was a review of the district's liability and property insurance. And that was from Dan Wellick of Assured Partners. They are the ones that go out and price all the insurance options for us. We also had some reports on a couple of much appreciated donations to the district. Over at Lincoln School, the Lincoln Elementary Parent Group and Lowe's Home Improvement donated cabinet, countertop, and sink for the teacher's lounge at Lincoln. And up at Hempstead, a ticket booth is being built as a donation at the Hempstead Timmerman Field. And that's going to be very similar to the ticket booth up at Dalzell Field. And that's being done by Micah Fern as his Eagle Scout project. And that will be tremendous. They ended up finding at Lincoln, there's 10 bicycles that they don't quite know where they came from, but those bicycles are going to be used as contest prizes up at Lincoln. We got reports on the construction projects and the Eisenhower Gym Addition and the Eisenhower Keller roof replacement. They're going well. At Irving Mechanical, things are also going well. There's going to be a number, the Irving project is going to continue through the school year, and it's going to require some movement of the students. So this coming year, the 3rd and 4th graders from Irving are going to be at Hoover all year. 10 of the classrooms are already done at Irving, and the young grades are going to be in there at the start of the year, and there's going to be some movement as the construction goes through the year. But the plans are in place for all of that. The Roosevelt new bus loop it did get finished. There was one final change order, required more asphalt than had been foreseen, and that was $12,880. The Marshall Playground equipment replacement is just about done. I drove by that today. It looks fantastic. And they just need to put in mulch and put the fencing back up. And at Hempstead High School, down on the field there's going to be a shed replacement. Currently, there's just a very small shed with equipment in it. It's kind of a residential style shed. The new shed's going to be 40 by 50 feet, and it's going to be used for both track and football equipment, and that's going to go out for bid. And the final information we got related to some of the funding sources, and Lisa Dimmer, our Chief Financial Officer, gave us a report on the Pebble funds and the SAVE funds. And we also got a report that it looks very positive for various IT projects that we did. We're going to get $565,000 reimbursement from the United States government unless something changes drastically on that. So I have a handful of motions then. The first motion is I move the Board of Education approve the donation from the Lincoln Elementary Parent Group and Lowe's Home Improvement of a cabinet, sink, and countertop for the staff lounge at Lincoln Elementary School.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the donation from the Lincoln Elementary Parent Group and Lowe's Home Improvement of a cabinet, sink, and countertop for the staff lounge at Lincoln Elementary. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve the donation from Eagle Scout Micah Fern of labor for the construction of a ticket booth at Hempstead High School Timmerman Field.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the donation from Eagle Scout Micah Fern of labor for the construction of a ticket booth at Hempstead High School Timmerman Field. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve the donation of used bicycles that are no longer of use to the district to people associated with Lincoln School.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the donation of used bicycles that are no longer of use to the district to people associated with Lincoln School. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve change order number 3 to Valentine Construction Company on the Eleanor Roosevelt Middle School repave project in the increased amount of $12,880.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve change order number 3 to Valentine Construction Company on the Eleanor Roosevelt Middle School repave project in the increased amount of $12,880. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve final acceptance of the Eleanor Roosevelt Middle School repave project and authorize payment of final project cost to Valentine Construction Company in the amount of $90,604.63 in accordance with the requirements of Iowa law and is more fully outlined in the submitted authorizing resolution.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve final acceptance of the Eleanor Roosevelt Middle School repave project and authorize payment of final project costs to Valentine Construction Company in the amount of $90,604.63 in accordance with the requirements of Iowa law and as more fully outlined in the submitted authorizing resolution. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education tentatively approve the plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of total cost for the Hempstead High School football field storage building project and set the date, time, and location as September 2, 2025 at 4 p.m. or immediately following the conclusion of the Facilities Support Services Committee meeting at the Dubuque Community School District, 2300 Cheney Road, Dubuque, Iowa, for a hearing thereon, and further authorize the advertisement for competitive bids.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education tentatively approve the plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of total cost for the Hempstead High School football field storage building project and set the date, time, and location as September 2nd, 2025 at 4 p.m. or immediately following the conclusion of the Facilities Support Services Committee meeting at the Dubuque Community School District, 2300 Cheney Road, Dubuque, Iowa, for a hearing thereon and further authorize the advertisement for competitive bids. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, thank you, Mr. Hamel. And that last motion was a helpful reminder that our next facilities meeting is on September 2nd at 4 o'clock, if you want to join us. That brings us to the Educational Programs and Policy Committee report from Ms. Jones.
Thank you. Well, first of all, we heard from Superintendent Hawkins, who shared Iowa Association of School Boards legislative priorities with the committee. These priorities serve as guidance for all the IASB, lobbyists, and lawmakers. Gives them guidance while advocating for us during the next session in Des Moines. So these include student achievement, preschool, teacher recruitment and licensure, supplemental state aid, unfunded mandates, school funding policy, bond issues, and private school choice. Our president will also be using those, right, and take them with you in November to the convention to discuss those amongst all the other schools in the state. Next, we heard from Superintendent Hawkins on our 5 priority initiatives around the 4 pillars of the strategic plan for the 2025-2026 school year. These are used throughout the year to just kind of make sure that we're meeting our goals and the priorities that we set to keep moving the district forward. Superintendent Hawkins and her staff will continue to update us throughout the year on how these projects are going. Priority number 1 is to strengthen the district's efforts to engage families, student, and staff in various areas in student success-focused initiatives. Priority number 2 is to deepen support for educators in systematizing collaboration to analyze, plan, and implement best practice instructional methods. Priority number 3 is to provide an optimal learning environment throughout honing instructional knowledge of educators to engage students in their learning of skills and content. Priority number 4 is study and implement strategies to streamline operations in ways focused on student success. And then the last one, priority number 5, is to enhance staff development that bolsters leadership, opportunities, and supports staff retention and longevity. You guys got your work cut out for you.
That's right. Busy here.
Yes. So after that, we did review several policies. 2 new ones that are going into place would be the employee use of electronic communication tools and also a similar one for students as our new policy takes place this year. And let's see, that wrapped us up. Our next meeting will be on September 3rd, right back here at the forum, and that's at 4 o'clock. And I did a motion tonight. All right, so I move that the Board of Education approve the 2025-2026 IASB legislative priorities as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the 2025-2026 IASB legislative priorities as presented. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, thank you, Ms. Jones. That brings us to new business. Any new business, Superintendent Hawkins?
Well, I think we're going to start a school year here shortly.
Okay,
So
let's do
I'm very excited. Our entire staff will return this Friday, the 15th. We will have our opening on Friday at senior high school. And then students will return for orientation day on Friday, August 22nd, with our first official day of school being August 25th. So I looked today and it looks like it's going to be 79 degrees on August 25th. So should be a good start to the school year. So we're excited.
Awesome.
Yeah, teacher names of teachers came out today, so that's always really exciting too.
Oh, that's exciting
Yeah.
to see who's going to be.
Who's homeroom.
Yeah.
Check your Infinite Campus and see who's your teacher,
That's right.
if you haven't already.
And I would just encourage, if anybody has not registered for school, there's still time to do so. So we encourage you to get your students registered so we're ready to go by the 22nd.
Thank you. Any board member or administrative issues? Just thanks for everyone willing to bring your kids to do the pledge tonight and for all of our
Yeah,
work
that was
over the
great.
summer. The work continues for all of us over the summer, even if it's quieter.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think seeing nothing else, we are adjourned.